there is no such thing as an off season, and then just dips. I just like personally just don't understand why that even happened. It's leg day. Dick is out. He does have some unholy mass, therefore making it even more anabolic French toast. But you know, what do I know? Natty or Not Part 2. Who is a lying piece of shit in the fitness industry 2020? What's going on, guys? Brandon Hardin here. Hope you're having a great day. Today, I'm going to be recording the episode 2 of the Natty or Not series I did on my channel about, I think it's about a year ago now, but it ended up getting like 900,000 views and almost 30,000 likes. So obviously, people like the kind of video, people were asking for Part 2. Here we are, it is about to go down. Now, as you may or may not know, I want to start off by saying that I personally am not a natural athlete. I decided to start taking PEDs when I was 19 years old on my first competition prep just before I turned 20. So for the past 3.5 years, I'm now 23. I've taken various substances, so I do have an overall base knowledge on what does happen to a body, physically, mentally, changes in characteristics. I'm by no means saying I'm a professional in the world of PEDs. I don't know everything there is to know. I have a lot to learn, but based on my past experiences, I know enough to be able to tell if someone is natural or not. My opinion on the use of performance enhancing drugs, I can't tell you not to take them because obviously I do myself and I'm not a hypocrite. If you're trying to take them to be the biggest guy in the room, I would seriously recommend you not take it. If you're trying to be an IFBB pro, you know, you weigh up the pros and cons and you think it's worth it, then obviously it's something to think about, but I would seriously recommend not going down that route. Honestly, I don't think you have to. You can achieve some incredible physiques without the use of performance enhancing drugs, as you'll see in this video, because some people are natty and some people that, well, they say they are, but they're actually definitely not. And then some people just have incredible genetics and they are a full lifetime natural athlete. On the subject of being a lifetime natural, I just don't understand today why people say they are. There's a balloon flying. Wow, that's really sad. Some kid just literally lost their balloon. I just don't see the point these days in lying about it, because if anything, you're gonna gain respect for one, being honest. Two, you're not gonna be creating false expectations for your like followers, subscribers. I'm by no means gonna be micro-analyzing the fibers in someone's shoulders or the crevices in their abs or just like how deep their leg insertions are. I may be wrong or I may be right. There's a very good chance I'm right. There's a small chance that I'm wrong, but let me know in the comments if you know something that I don't. Maybe I speak wrongly about someone and they actually admitted to being not natural and I thought that they claim natural. So just let me know in the comments. If this video gets a minimum of 10,000 likes, I will do a part 3 in the future. So with that being said, let's get into person number 1. All right, so I've got my list. I'm gonna essentially go down the list. I've done it in some kind of order. I asked you guys to tell me on Instagram who you wanted me to speak about. So I've made a list of the most requested people. I've done like a basic Google search so I know where they're from, their height, their age. I don't know everyone's weight because everyone's weight does fluctuate, especially if you're not natural. It's really hard to gauge what someone currently weighs. So those like BMI tests and the tests that people do on like Natty or Not videos, where it's just like how much like lean muscle mass they actually have. I'm not sure what the exact test is called, but those are so freaking inaccurate because based on someone's information that they can get on Google, it's probably extremely inaccurate and it obviously doesn't account for someone's genetics. And there's a reason these people have hundreds of thousands of followers, is because they do stand out above the crowd and they do have probably better genetics than most people, which is why they have the following they do, or they're just an incredible person and they have a following because people think they're just like a sick person. But mainly the reason for all the numbers is because of someone's like incredible physique. The first person we're going to speak about is from Germany. He's 26, 6 foot plus. I couldn't find out exactly how tall he is. He looks about 6'3", but he's called Joe Lindner on Instagram. He's known as Joe Aesthetics. I've actually spoken to him on Instagram a few times and he seems like such a sound guy. Like, he's a really nice dude. Now personally, I don't know if this guy claims natural, and I think it would be rude of him to claim natural, because going on his Instagram right now and seeing his physique over the past like 3 years of me following him, he has some of the craziest genetics. He stays lean pretty much all year round, which funnily enough could be a reason he is natural, because people that take PEDs, they fluctuate a lot. They gain fat and get a bit smaller when they stop taking things, and then obviously when they're on cycle they look extra freaky. But Joe, he's pretty much looked amazing for the past 3 years, ever since I started following him, based on this guy's sheer lean body mass as well. His legs, for example, he has just some of the best leg genetics, and I don't even want to get started on his fucking horse calves. This guy has some of the best calves I've ever seen in my entire life. I think he used to be a professional mountain biker or like some kind of cyclist. His skin's looking dry. He obviously has super capped capped shoulders. I don't know anyone that can get like this freaking vascular. Look at that shit. There's no way that's freaking natural. That just isn't human. So my overall opinion on Joe, no, I don't think he's natural. I don't know if he claims to be, so I can't really call him out on it. And I do know he just started posting a lot of cool YouTube videos. He's mainly been on Instagram in the past, but now he's on YouTube. So if you want to check him out, feel free to do so. Person number 2, Oliver Forslin. He's from Sweden. He's 18 years old, and I think he's 5'10". He's actually a HD muscle athlete, which is the same company that I'm working with, which honestly, with this video, doesn't mean shit. I'm not gonna go easy on this guy just because we're in the same team. We've never met. We have, again, spoke on Instagram. Seems like a really nice dude, but the guy, he has some questionable looking arms. In this black Gymshark t-shirt, his arms are looking quite dense. Remember, he is 18 years old. He looks like he just has some like really good genetics. He doesn't have like crazy wide shoulders and like a huge frame, so it doesn't look like it'd be super hard for him to fill out and look freaky. He has a stupidly small waist, which obviously is going to make him look more unnatural because of the proportions. He has some good shoulders, but they're not unbelievably capped. He doesn't look like he has an unachievable physique. This is definitely the kind of physique that you would look at and you would say, you know what, like he has incredible abs, a good chest, good arms, good overall development. I'm not sure what his legs are looking like. I'm gonna try to find a picture of his legs. You know what, actually, he has some pretty decent quads, but he doesn't look unnatty. I think he does claim natural, or if he doesn't, I don't think he's actually ever spoken about it. But at the same time, he's 18 years old, and at the age of like 18, I think, like I know I started taking stuff at 19, but at 18 years old, you're just too young to go down that route. And he seems like a really smart guy, so I would like to believe that he is natural and hasn't dove into that as young as he is. So overall opinion on Oliver Forslin, yes, I do think he's natural. This isn't like a biased opinion just because we're sponsored by the same company. There is going to be some people in this video that I do speak a little bit of shit about. I just think he's an 18-year-old dude that has some pretty good genetics, and the fact that he is so lean is going to make him look a lot more freaky on Instagram, but in person, I can't imagine him like looking like a bodybuilder. Like he probably looks like a normal sized guy. Right here, there's a transformation picture of when he's 14 years old to 18 years old, and I started taking stuff when I was 19, and my 14 years old to 19 years old transformation before I started taking stuff looks quite similar to this. And I by no means have like incredible genetics. I have pretty average genetics. I have to work freaking hard for the muscle that I have. So I definitely think that this transformation overall is definitely possible naturally. Next person on the list is Matt Does Fitness. He is from the UK, he's 34 and he's 6'2". I've met this guy in person a little bit of time ago at Rob Lipsit's creator agency event. We were both speakers on the stage. This was my first time meeting him. We got a little bit drunk on the night time. He seems like a great father to his son Luca. They're really creative with his YouTube videos and I personally love to watch them. And overall seems like a pretty decent family man, but is he natural? He's probably one of the most requested people in this video, and honestly, I don't even need to look at his Instagram to have my opinion on Matt, because I genuinely think he is the prime example of what it looks like when you work hard for a consistent amount of time. His physique, based on me seeing him in person, he's not massive, but he's definitely big. Like he's a big guy. He's 34 years old. You would definitely think that his physique would be something you could achieve in that span of time. I don't know if he's admitted to taking anything in the past. I also know, being sponsored by Gymshark, that it's not a topic that you ideally can speak about, especially when you have signed that Gymshark contract.
The question I always get the most at events and on social media and things like that is always, how do I become a Gymshark athlete? How do I become a Gymshark athlete? How do I become a Gymshark athlete? How do I become a Gymshark athlete?
Obviously, a lot of them choose not to speak about it. I know Chris Bumstead recently said about his test cycle that he does in the off season. He is one of the main Gymshark athletes, but obviously he is one of the main ones, so it's not like they can get rid of him. Back on the subject of Matt Does Fitness, Matt's strength level has pretty much seemingly plateaued. He doesn't seem to be getting any stronger. He's actually weaker than he was previously when he used to be a powerlifter. I think he has a better physique than he did because he was obviously a little bit more chubby when he was a powerlifter. Now he's just maintaining a decent lean body mass. My personal opinion on him is I think he's natural right now. I don't know in the realm of powerlifting whether he took things previously to get stronger, because he's definitely not as strong as he was before. It honestly wouldn't be smart for him to take performance enhancing drugs because, one, he doesn't want to compete. He has the kind of dense, mature muscle mass that you definitely could maintain naturally. He could very well be on TRT at the age of 34. Your body doesn't produce the same testosterone that it used to back when he was like 24. Here's a question. If someone's on TRT, which is testosterone replacement therapy, they're just replenishing what their body used to create to be able to consistently make progress in the gym. You're not giving yourself enhanced levels of testosterone, but obviously it is prosthetic. But what's your opinion on that? Personally, I think Matt Does Fitness is natural. Next person on the list is American. He's 33, he's 6'1", and his name is Sadiq Hadzovic. I think that's how you say his last name, Sadiq Hadzovic. Sadiq is one of those people, obviously we know he is not natural, but he's someone that I wanted to use as an example of people that let performance enhancing drugs and that whole realm of competing just like get to their head. It can, if you don't check yourself and the way you treat people, it can turn you into a massive dick. Here's a bit of a story. I used to follow Sadiq. I thought he was an incredible guy. I was a massive fan of his physique. I saw he steps on stage at the Olympia one time. He didn't look as big as the other guys. He obviously needed to progress more. Was a fan of this guy. Now, about 2 years ago at the Toronto Pro Show in 2018, I actually got the chance to see Sadiq. He was on the way back to his booth. I think he just like got some food or used the bathroom or something. And I basically said like, hey dude, I've been following you for a while now. You have an incredible physique. Like, congratulations on the last show. And he was like, oh, thanks man. I really appreciate that. And then I said, how do you think the last off season went? Like, are you ready for your next show? Are you excited for your next prep? And he just looked at me and he said, there is no such thing as an off season, and walked away. He looked infuriated. Like, he looked so freaking angry at me. There is no such thing as an off season, and then just dips. I myself have had the privilege to do meetups, meet subscribers at expos, and I can't even fathom being the kind of person that would look at someone that supports me and just like look so pissed off and be like, there's no such thing as an off season. What? Like, I just like personally just don't understand why that even happened. I left that experience just like absolutely shocked. I was like, what? An absolute dickhead. Steroids, they look amazing. They exponentially change your physique and they make you look inhuman and achieve things that you could not achieve naturally. But if you're not the kind of person that can deal with that kind of thing mentally, I would definitely stay away from that kind of thing. If you already have an angry temperament and you think that it could affect the way you treat people, please just stay away from it, because the people in your life, they didn't decide for you, because it's not worth losing friends, losing family based on the fact that you just want to have a sick physique. So honestly, just like if you're gonna do it, check yourself and treat people with respect. And lastly, Sadiq, if you're watching this video right now, what's up bitch? I bet you didn't think I'd be here. Just in the future, treat people with respect, because you have no idea where they're going to be in 2 years and the voice that they might have. So please just have some respect. Next person on the list, highly requested, Romanian, 23 years old, 5'11", and his name is Andre Dayu. Trained with him a few times. Andre is one of those people where you just look at his like triceps in person and you're like, have I ever trained triceps in my entire life? Like, you would look at his arms in person and you would think, how are his arms even real? They look a video shot. They don't look real. He just competed in his first ever pro debut, his first ever pro show, and he won it. He now has the ticket to the Olympia on his first freaking attempt. He's 23 years old. Like, he's just freaking made it. I don't know if he claims natural. I don't know if he's ever spoken about it. I think Kenny KO went up to Andre at an expo one time and said like, hey Andre, like, are you are you natural? And he was like, ha ha ha. I personally don't think that Andre is natural. The amount of progress he's made back from when he was 18 years old to the way he looks now, training with Honey, winning his first pro show. My opinion on Andre, I do not think he's natural. Next person on the list, again, probably one of the most highly requested people to speak about, is Lex Little. He's American, he's 18 years old. Google said he's 5'11". Seems like a really nice guy, obviously is inspiring like thousands of people all over the world, has some crazy genetics. His waist, I swear, it must be like 26 inches, and he has some pretty decent legs. Lex is the king of getting his dick out after a leg day. As soon as his legs are pumped, joggers or shorts are just off. Selfie in the mirror, dick out, dick and balls just hanging loose. I'm actually gonna go on his Instagram right now and see the wave of get your dick out. Okay, here's one. Okay, we have another one. It's leg day. Dick is out. Here's another pump. Okay, here's another pump. Dick is out. And I'm just like what? I mean, I get it. I mean, you have like good legs. The insertions on his legs are actually incredible and they make his legs look even bigger than they are. I don't know if he's like trying to low-key build up a certain kind of following. So if like Instagram doesn't really work out, he can like make an OnlyFans and then he has like a bunch of followers that would subscribe to his OnlyFans. Controversial opinion, I do think that he's natural. The reason his legs probably look so big is because of how small his waist is. Yeah, he's 18 years old. I don't think he'd be stupid enough to start taking drugs that early. I think if you do start taking like performance enhancing drugs at like 16, 17, 18, you're a bit of a fucking idiot and you haven't exhausted any of your natural potential. I know the pressure of like being sponsored by Gymshark, you obviously have to look like you have an incredible physique to continue growing followers, to attain said sponsorship. Training obviously is hard and as heavy as he does, and being surrounded in his friendship group, obviously all his friends are freaking obsessed with lifting, so it is probably his whole life. I think personally, I'm not gonna go too deeply into it, I think he's natural. I think he's a pretty sound guy. I think he gets his dick out a little bit too much. Like, look at that. Like, Look at that shit. What are people looking at? Are people looking at his quad sweep or his ball sack? Next on the list, I don't know why he was highly requested, but we've got Greg Doucet. He's Canadian, he's 42, he is 5'6". Obviously, he's not natural, but I'm under the impression that the reason his anabolic French toast is more anabolic than everyone else's is because he literally injects growth hormone in to the bread, therefore making it even more anabolic French toast. But you know, what do I know?
See that? You flip it.
Next on the list, we have Cornelius Masterson. He's American, 21, pretty shit at Warzone, to be honest. I mean, we do play sometimes, and I don't think he's that easy. I'm sick of carrying the guy. I'm just gonna say that. Personally, I do think, I actually know for a fact that Cornelius is natural. He was, again, one of the highly requested people to speak about in this video. Dylan McKenna actually touched on this at the end of one of his most recent videos. I don't know if you saw it. He's 6 foot and 163 pounds. He doesn't have like a ton of muscle mass, but his arms, his genetics on his arms, he also must have quite hollow arms, because when he gets a pump, his arms just fucking explode. I'm not too sure what his legs are looking like, or if he even has any legs like Cornelius. I've never actually seen you squat. I've seen Dylan squat a lot in the apartment that you both live in. So dude, like, you know, maybe like get into the rack and like do some squats. It may make you better at Call of Duty Warzone. But obviously I do think Cornelius is natural. Next person is Anthony Mantello. He's American, he's 18, he's 5'10", and I'm just gonna straight up say, like, I do not think this guy is natural, just because I know how bad this guy wants to be an IFBB pro. He is 18 years old, but I also understand his like undying need to be a pro. He also has so much potential. He has a crazy waist. He has the perfect genetics for men's physique, and in his position, I almost think it would be a waste not to take stuff, just because of what he could like potentially be in the future. Like, this guy could literally be on the men's physique Olympia stage in the next 2 or 3 years at the age of 21 or 22 if he plays his cards right. And the condition he got in his last show, he just looked too dry. The kind of dryness that you would get from something like Proviron or Winstrol. So no, I don't think Anthony is natural. I'm a fan of what he's doing. I watch his YouTube videos. I think he's a funny guy. He's quite a stand-up guy in the sense of he's very himself. He doesn't try and be anyone that he's not for the camera. Like, he's pretty monotone on his videos. I feel like he could be a bit more upbeat. Hey. The final person on the list I want to speak about, who was requested a few times, is Mike O'Hearn. American, 51 years old and 6'3". He's the definition of like American muscle. His whole brand, his whole thing is lifetime natty. And to be honest, I kind of want to agree with it. I know a lot of people think he's not natural and stuff, but the guy is 51 years old. I've heard people say, and people that know him, that all he does, he fucking lives in Gold Gym Venice. He tracks every day. He never cheats, like literally ever. Is never off his diet, eats 6 meals a day, consistently, always, and has done for the past like 30 years. I don't know his history. He does have some unholy mass. His legs are like freaking insane. Controversial opinion, kind of the same as the last video with Simian Panda, me thinking Simian's natural. I do also think that Mike O'Hearn could be natural. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Do you think Mike O'Hearn is natural? Let me know what you think about any of my opinions on these people in the comment section. And like I said, if you want to see a part 3 of the Natty or Not series, 10,000 likes minimum on this video. Share it with your friends, have a conversation, and also let me know in the comments as well people that you want me to cover in the future of this Natty or Not series. So with that being said, right now guys, I'm going to end this video here. I'm going to make a pre-workout meal. I got chest and shoulders today. Pretty excited about it, not going to lie. I'm going to unhook this. Yeah. So if you enjoyed the second episode of Natty or Not, please smash the like. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.